Hey out there, legal warriors. In this video, I'm going to cover the 4 crucial mistakes to avoid if you are accused of a crime anywhere in Washington state. This can apply all throughout the United States, but I'm going to be covering Washington state in particular. So if you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm has been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. In my 30 years of doing criminal law, 7 years on the prosecution side, 23 plus, almost 24 on the defense side, I have learned that there are 4 crucial mistakes that somebody accused of a crime needs to avoid to get away from big problems in how that case turns out if you're accused of a crime. When I say accused of a crime, that can mean either being charged with the crime or investigated with the crime. They're pretty similar. Hopefully we're only being investigated and not charged yet. But in any case, I want you to avoid these 4 crucial mistakes. Mistake number 1 is talking too much, either to police or to other people about whatever's going on in the case from a factual standpoint. So if you're being investigated for a crime, it makes pretty good sense that you don't want to be talking to non-privileged people about what the allegations are. The one we all think of, who do we want to avoid? We want to avoid talking to the police unless there's an attorney that is with you and there's a specific strategy and reason why it is that it would be a good idea to talk to the police. I'm not a believer that we never talk to police, but I am a believer we don't talk to police without an attorney unless that's really been vetted by the attorney, because there are good reasons how we can make an advantage in our case, but that should not be a decision that you make on your own. We also don't want to talk to other people about the case, that it may get back to police or it may make the situation worse. What's an example of that? Well, let's say that someone's been arrested for domestic violence and the prosecutor didn't instantly file a charge. Sometimes it can take a few months for the prosecutor to decide what to do. Now that suspect who's been arrested may go off shooting their mouth off about how much the victim's a liar, how much the alleged victim isn't telling the truth, and that may create a reason for status reasons for the alleged victim now has to push forward more forcefully, trying to get a hold of the police, trying to get a hold of the prosecutor to do bad things against you because you made them mad. This is just a what if. But in some situations when we're just talking to the world about how innocent we are, or that person's a liar about me, we might run in the same circles, and that can give incentives for the person who may not be telling the truth to maintain the lie so they can save face. It's really important that we try to say as little as possible if we're either charged with a crime or investigated with a crime. The only person really safe to talk to is an attorney that you have an attorney-client privilege with. We all know, well, you may not know, one of my favorite books is The 4 Agreements. And the first agreement that we try to live by in the world is be impeccable with your word. That doesn't mean keep your word. It means only say nice things. And in this case, I don't want, hopefully, anybody to say anything unless it's to an attorney. So crucial mistake number 1 is talking too much. I think crucial mistake number 2 is jumping to conclusions. We don't want to jump to conclusions about what's going to happen in the case. And with all due respect to anyone watching this, unless you're a legal professional with a lot of experience, you don't really have a good idea of what's going to happen in any particular case, because every jurisdiction is so different and every crime is so different. In fact, if there's the supposed theft that happens outside the city limits of, let's say, Linwood, for example, then there's going to be one type of thing that's going to happen. And if it happens inside the city limits of Linwood, this is a what if, there's going to be a different type of thing that's going to happen. One case will be easier than the other. One case will move quicker than the other. And I'm not going to get into which is which, but it's just an example where we can jump to conclusions and think, oh, this is going to be really a nightmare or it's going to be really easy. And you really don't know. That's why you need to find an attorney to talk to, so you just don't jump to those conclusions. And why don't I want you to jump to conclusions? Because you'll make mistakes, right? If you think it's way more serious than it is, then you're going to be freaking out. You're going to be lying awake at night. Maybe you'll start getting into more problems from the stress. Maybe you'll create a new problem at home. And we don't want that to happen. And on the other end, if we don't take it seriously enough, maybe we just think, hey, we got arrested, we got released, the charge is over. So many people make that mistake. That's usually not the case. We're arrested and released, the prosecutor's still making a decision on what to do. And you don't want to waste that time that you could have an attorney working for you to try to improve your chances of not getting charged. So jumping to conclusions on either it's too serious or, hey, it's not that serious, that's going to be a problem for you. So again, the mistake is don't jump to conclusions. How do we remedy that? Well, crucial mistake number 3 is failing to reach out to qualified defense attorney to confidentially tell them what's going on. I just had a phone call today from 2 different family members about someone who got arrested for a charge of domestic violence, assault in the 4th degree. And based upon the knowledge that I had, I could tell those people in that situation that I thought there's a pretty good chance that that case wouldn't be filed right away based upon the city that that jurisdiction was in. And that put their minds at ease and also gave them more time to figure out what attorney they want to hire. Just because someone calls my office doesn't mean I'm going to just jump in and say, yeah, we're going to do the case. I want to try to make sure that somebody is covered and that they're spending as little money as possible while getting as much help as possible. And we want to have you reach out to that type of attorney who can tell you what the real deal is. And if they hadn't reached out to an attorney, they would be having a much worse weekend right now, thinking that they could do things when they can't just yet. And that applies probably for your situation also. The crucial mistake is just doing it on your own or reaching out to unqualified attorneys and sort of getting played about, what's really going on. You need to do your due diligence. You need to look at reviews. You need to read what the reviews actually say. Right? If there are a bunch of reviews when you're looking for an attorney that are just character reviews, other attorneys talking about their colleague, that's not really that valuable. That's sort of tit for tat. You want to see what clients have had to say, how responsive, how communicative, how knowledgeable, what are the results in the case. But what you don't want to do is what so many people do is they don't bother to contact an attorney because maybe they think they can't afford it, maybe they don't know how. I'm not sure why they don't. But information in general from criminal attorneys is generally going to be free, and they're going to try to help diagnose the situation and give you some idea what's going to happen in that local jurisdiction with the situation and the type of crime you're in. If they have any level of experience, they're going to know way more than you do, and information is really powerful when we're in this situation. Crucial mistake number 4, the last one I'm going to cover here, and the one that I think hurts clients the most, and it's not going to be what you expect, is putting too much direct pressure on the attorney that you hire to try to resolve the case quickly. Criminal cases do not get resolved quickly. Sometimes there are good reasons to try to move a case more quickly. There could be immigration reasons. There could be positive witness reasons that maybe the witness is moving away, or maybe there's a more favorable prosecutor that's going to retire or rotate to it somewhere else, and we don't want to get sort of a meaner or more difficult prosecutor in making decisions. But a big problem that clients don't understand is the good attorneys out there have a lot of cases, right? It makes sense. It's a life and death situation to the person charged with the crime. They want to hire the best person they can. And those good attorneys, therefore, have a lot of cases they're dealing with. And that doesn't mean they're not going to do a good job. It just means that when they get pressured by a client to, hey, move this more quickly and stuff like that, sometimes if that attorney is feeling a bit overwhelmed, they might try to move your case too quickly and therefore get a poor result in your case. I'm not going to go into details about why time makes things better, but it might make some sense. Time heals all wounds. Also, the system is set up that, prosecutors are working on older cases as opposed to newer cases. The system is just slogging around, slogging along. It's overburdened. It's overwhelmed. And so what you don't want to do is try to tell your attorney how to do their job, because if they give in to you, you're going to get a worse result. And an overburdened attorney may finally give in to you and just say, yeah, we'll do it your way. And you don't know the way. What do you want to do with your attorney? The corollary to the crucial mistake is you want to do what they tell you to do, right? Do what they tell you to do. Oftentimes, they're going to tell you to do some classes. Oftentimes, they're going to tell you to write out what happened and give it to them, or give them some witnesses, things like that. But what we tell our clients to do is we want you to be patient, because this doesn't go fast. We want you to do what we tell you to, because sometimes the case needs things, even if you don't. And number 3, we want you to stay out of trouble. If you can know those 3 things, you're likely going to be able to help your attorney. So these are 4 crucial mistakes, and there are way more mistakes than that out there. But these are the ones that I see that can cause the biggest problem in the long run for an outcome. If you can avoid these 4 mistakes, you have a much better chance of getting the outcome that you want. And we want an outcome that's going to save you from future problems. It's going to save your freedom, your job, your reputation, and so forth. So that about covers it. If you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it, and so many people need this type of help. More importantly, if you have a criminal problem in Washington State, feel free to give my office a call. We've been doing this more than 20 years. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.